What's up, you guys? Welcome back to this week's Manga Sutra manga review, and in this week's video, we're going to be talking about One Piece chapter 921. Now, the chapter starts off with Luffy and his allies planning on assaulting Onigashima on the day of the festival, but let's just be honest. You saw the chapter, I saw the chapter, and we both know what the main headline of this chapter is: Kaido in dragon form. Now I understand why the residents of Wano country call Kaido a deity, why they worship him at this festival. The dude is a freaking dragon. But at the same time, I'm not surprised that Kaido is a dragon. He was deemed the strongest creature. So my assumptions were either this guy can transform into several different creatures, or he's a freaking dragon. Because in Chinese and Japanese mythology, a dragon is the strongest mythical creature of all creatures, and is pretty much only above the phoenix, the kirin, and the tiger, I think. Now, one thing I want to talk about is a potential theory I have linking Kaido to Momonosuke. Now, we do know from Punk Hazard that Momonosuke had just recently consumed an artificial devil fruit that he had found. And we do know that this artificial Zoan devil fruit was created by Vegapunk. And that this artificial Zoan devil fruit allows Momonosuke to transform into a dragon. Now, my theory is, we know that Kaido has taken L's. We know that Kaido has been captured several times by his enemies, and we know that this guy has been sentenced to executions several times. My theory is he was captured by the world government once, and Vegapunk managed to extract some of his DNA. And from his DNA, he managed to construct an artificial Zoan devil fruit, which was the one that Momonosuke had consumed. Now, the reason his DNA was extracted, maybe the world government viewed Kaido's devil fruit ability as a potential threat. Maybe they viewed it as a huge military asset to have on their side. And if they couldn't have Kaido, then surely they could have his ability and give that to someone else. But we do know that Vegapunk deemed it a failure. Now, from what we see from Momonosuke versus Kaido, we see that Momonosuke's devil fruit doesn't really match the raw potential of Kaido's mythical Zoan devil fruit so far. And I think that's what Vegapunk had finally came to the conclusion of once he had constructed this artificial Zoan devil fruit. It doesn't match the real power of the original mythical Zoan devil fruit. And that's why he deemed it a failure and he kind of casted it off. Another reason I think, would be a random reason why the world government would want Kaido is maybe because the Celestial Dragons saw Kaido's devil fruit ability as pretty cool. They're Celestial Dragons. Kaido can transform into a dragon. It's only rightful that they would be able to transform into dragons. And we do know in the One Piece universe, when a Celestial Dragon says jump, pretty much the world government and everyone in it says how high. If they want to pretty much feed their slaves devil fruits, they can do that. If they want to make a slave out of the Shichibukai, they can do that. If they want to build a bridge, they can do that. If they want to destroy an entire country, they can kind of do that, just because they're Celestial Dragons. Another thing I want to talk about is Shootin' Maru's performance this chapter. Shootin' Maru, in my opinion, originally was looking like a fodder character that I thought was just going to get annihilated by Jack the Drought. But seeing him perform so well against Jack the Drought is really made me look twice at Shootin' Maru. I also like his character design. I like the tattoos on his arms. I'm just really kind of turned off by the fact that he is such a dickwad. He was trying to carve out an old lady's eyes. You don't get more evil than that. And I'm trying not to overhype Shootin' Maru in my mind due to his performance with Jack the Drought. Because let's just be honest, Jack the Drought, as amazingly high as his bounty is, and as amazing as the devil fruit is, and his showings with the Mink tribe are, from what we see with the Mink tribe, Jack the Drought isn't a proficient swordsman. Swordsmanship isn't really his specialty. Hand-to-hand fighting isn't really his specialty. With Jack the Drought, he is more of a berserker, and he's more of a stamina fighter. He will tank all of your attacks, and he will try to outlast you in the fight. If he cannot beat you with the sheer force of his attacks, then he will pretty much just tank and keep chugging and chugging and chugging away until you run out of energy, until you run out of steam. We saw this with the Mink tribe. The Duke and Neko, they had to go back to back to back to back. They had to pretty much alternate every single time and tag each other in, tag each other out, so on and so forth. And Jack the Drought just kept going. All of his guys were just getting beaten, but this guy just kept going. So Jack, he's a stamina fighter. He's an endurance fighter. He's pretty much a berserker who will tank and tank and tank and tank until you just can't take the brunt of his attacks anymore. But at the same time, I feel like with Jack the Drought, he's taken a lot of L's recently. From trying to rescue Doflamingo to getting his ship destroyed and sunken by the island elephant to pretty much taking this massive attack from shooting Maru. It's not really looking good for him at this point. Now, what do you guys think is going to happen in the next few chapters? I think the link between Momonosuke and Kaido will be mentioned, and let's just be honest, like I said in my previous video, One Piece just needs to throw plans out the window at this point. We've seen this with the plan to rescue Ace, we've seen this with the assassination plan with Big Mom, and now we're seeing this with Kaido's plan to take him down. One Piece plans just never go as planned. They always crumble very quickly. This is VM. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Bye.